Good day, everyone. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. We are about to commemorate the 75th anniversary of liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau camp. But Polish President Andrzej Duda is not going to Israel for the commemorations. Why is that? Jonny Daniels, the head of From the Depths Foundation, is the one who revealed all the details of big international politics. Jonny, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So just let him explain what had really happened. Jonny, tell me why Polish President Andrzej Duda would have no right to have a speech during the 75th anniversary of liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau. It sounds a little bit ridiculous, just also considering the fact that Auschwitz-Birkenau, the German Nazi camp, is right now in Polish borders, and Polish side, of course, is the most interested after Jews in this fact and in those commemorations.
Look, I think that what we've seen is really troubling. I mean, first of all, this anniversary is being celebrated in Poland. The commemoration of the liberation of the German Nazi camp Auschwitz-Birkenau will take place on the 27th of January, the date of liberation, in Poland, in Auschwitz-Birkenau, where the president will speak. There is another event that's happening around about a week before in Israel, where, shockingly, President Duda was not invited to speak. And truly, I was completely flabbergasted at the fact that the president would not be invited to say words and to give a speech at such an important occasion. What happened, however, and the story behind it is also incredibly important to understand and to know. Yad Vashem, Israel's Holocaust Museum, partnered with a man called Władysław Moshe Kantor, a very well-known Russian oligarch and the head of dozens of Jewish organizations, partnered with Yad Vashem to enable this event to happen. Often groups like Yad Vashem and organizations will partner with different bodies for hosting events, and the bodies will co-finance or whatever it may be. And effectively, this is what happened here. Unfortunately, what we're seeing is really disturbing politics taking place where it really shouldn't be. There's no place for politics when dealing with such an important issue as Holocaust Memory Memorial. But we're seeing that. We saw that a few weeks ago when Putin stood and gave absurd statements pertaining to Poland, blaming Poland for the starting of the war. I mean, just ridiculous comments. And then following that up by having world leaders attending a commemoration event where you have presidents of different countries speaking, including the French president, the president of a country of collaborators will be standing and speaking, but the Polish president not allowed. And basically all this falls down to politics, this falls down to Russia and the want of Kremlin to weaken the position of Poland around the world. And truly, it's a scandal that Yad Vashem allowed themselves to be played in this political way and allowed Moshe Kantor, the Kremlin, through Kantor, to play these kind of games. And I'm equally as shocked and disturbed. And I absolutely believe that President Duda is doing the correct thing in boycotting this event. And I honestly think that other world leaders should as well, because quite simply, it's not right.
And just to better understand the situation, could you explain us more who Moshe Kantor is and how he is involved, on how he is related to Kremlin?
Well, look, I mean, Władysław Moshe Kantor is a Russian oligarch. He's, I believe, the 29th richest man in Russia. Now, today, you're not the 29th richest man in Russia without good relations with the Kremlin and Putin. In addition to that, Kantor also has major business interests in this region. His company, Akron, which is one of the largest holders of fertilizer companies, bought 20% of the Polish company Grupa Azoty in 2014, attempted a hostile takeover and was stopped by the previous government, at which point he screamed and called anti-Semitism and all of this stuff. Hugely problematic. I remember back then looking on, absolutely surprised that such a thing could happen. And that relationship has always been problematic. You know, Kantor's relationship to Poland. If you look at Moshe Kantor's Twitter page,
yes.
right, it's not very active. But if you look at it, the pinned tweet, the tweet that's kept on the top, is a tweet showing recent reports of anti-Semitism, with Poland as one of the top countries. Again, something completely ridiculous. When you have Jews being slaughtered and with machetes in Manhattan, in New York, and every single day more articles about Jews beaten in the street in Germany.
Or in Paris.
Or in Paris, or wherever it may be, to point and single out Poland, a country where there's not been one physical attack. This is massively problematic. And this is very systematic of this need of Russia to show Poland as a bad country. Now, after Brexit, Poland really is the only country within the EU that's kind of standing up towards Russia and saying no, and blocking Russian interest into Europe. Your border country, Hungary, is remarkably friendly towards Russia. And when you look at this scenario and you see these politics being played through Jewish organizations, through Holocaust Memorial, through people like Moshe Kantor, it's remarkably troubling. And we, as Jews, need to scream and shout very loudly about this. Because, you know, when Holocaust denial, which is one of the biggest problems we face today, isn't just denying that the Holocaust happened. It's changing facts to suit ourselves. And this is what Putin's done.
Yes.
By not allowing the Poles to speak, it's even a push forward in terms of that. And this is something really troubling and worrying. And a trend that hopefully ends now. I mean, I pray that everybody's learned their lesson here and it stops at this point. But if this is allowed to continue, we're going to have very, very serious trouble. And, you know, again, with the rise of anti-Semitism, how it makes sense to take world leaders to Yad Vashem and not to take them to Auschwitz makes no sense to me. I've brought many world leaders to Auschwitz-Birkenau, to see the German Nazi death camp, to understand what it means when you really hate, what all this hate leads to.
It is a great word to sum up that such events as anniversary of liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau camp shouldn't be that much involved into politics, but we should more focus on the event itself and to commemorate what really happened there. But it's important to understand what's happening right now in politics. So thank you for watching Poland Daily Culture.